I thought I was giving my daughter the perfect wedding. But when she stood at that altar and said those 4 words, my world shattered. What she revealed next, I never saw coming. "Catherina, you don't mean it." "Does it mean that?" Catherina had been acting strange lately. Distant phone calls. Cancelled lunch dates. When I asked if something was wrong, she'd flash that practiced smile and say, "Just wedding jitters, Mom." But mothers know. Something was shifting beneath the surface, and I couldn't quite grasp what it was. In 3 weeks, my daughter Catherina would walk down the aisle, and everything was falling perfectly into place. In the evening, I recalled that I'd spent months planning every detail: the venue, the flowers, the 7-tier cake. My life had always been blessed, and Catherina's wedding would be the crown jewel. That evening, someone knocked on my door. "Mrs. Catherine Morrison," he asked. "My name is Victor Hayes. I believe we need to talk about your daughter's future." The way he said future made my blood run cold. It was as if what my instinct was telling me was going to be true. Mr. Victor wasn't even helping matters but fueling it. Victor explained he was a business associate of my late husband's firm. He said, "Your perfect life, Catherine, was built on some very imperfect foundations. Mr. Victor, being a former business associate of my late husband doesn't give you the effrontery to spill nonsense to my face. Hope you know, you're in my house. What will you do when the family your daughter is getting married into is your late husband's own enemy? And what is keeping them from attacking is sitting down in front of you. Hey, Mr. Whatever you call yourself. I don't bloody care. Mr. Victor, show her a document. Isn't what you mean by imperfect foundations?" From that moment, I knew he wanted money. "You have until the wedding," Victor said, standing to leave. "Otherwise, I'll make sure Catherina learns exactly who her father really was and what you knew about it." The door closed, and I sat frozen, the life I'd carefully constructed crumbling around me. Not again. Why can't I have a peaceful life? I couldn't sleep. Couldn't eat. Catherina noticed, asking if I was feeling well. How could I tell her that a ghost from her father's past had risen to destroy everything? James had been dead for 5 years. Some secrets were supposed to die with the person who kept them. But no, it has decided to come back and hurt me. "Mom, you're scaring me. Last night, you were awake and you kept on staring at the ceiling," Catherina said over coffee. "Are you sick? Is something wrong?" I wanted to tell her. Wanted to unburden myself. But how do you shatter your daughter's image of her beloved father 3 weeks before her wedding? I lied instead. "Just emotional about my baby getting married, and you know he isn't here to witness your day, baby." Then I told Marcus that I made the first payment, $50,000, in a park as instructed. And Victor counted it slowly, deliberately, left a note: "This is just the beginning, Catherine. Think of it as a wedding gift to yourself." Marcus replied, "Victor Hayes doesn't exist," he said. "At least, not the one you think. He's been using that name for only 3 years. Before that, he was Vincent Harlow, and Catherine, he has connections to your husband's business partner who went to prison." The pieces fell together horribly. James's business partner, Robert, had taken the fall for their scheme alone. He died in prison 2 years ago. Victor, Vincent, was Robert's younger brother. This wasn't just blackmail. It was revenge. I stood outside Catherina's room at midnight, hand raised to knock. Tell her everything. Warn her. But what would it accomplish besides transferring my pain to her? I lowered my hand and walked away, the coward I'd always been. Victor's next message arrived: $100,000 by Friday, or he'd speak to Catherina's future in-laws directly. The Ashtons were old money, prestigious. They'd cancel the wedding instantly if they knew about James's embezzlement, about the lives ruined by his schemes. I couldn't do it anymore. The lying, the sneaking, the payments draining my accounts. That night, I broke down completely. Everything I'd protected, everyone I'd shielded, for what? To live in this prison of secrets? I pick up my phone and called my sister, Rebecca, something I should have done weeks ago. Through tears, I told her everything. "Oh, Catherine," she whispered. "You can't keep carrying this alone. It's time for the truth. And you should damn whatever the consequences." Then, Rebecca, Marcus, and I formed a plan. We'd gather evidence of Victor's extortion, his real identity, everything. Then we'd go to the police. But we only had 1 week until the wedding. 1 week to end this nightmare. Marcus set up a meeting with Victor, recording equipment hidden in my purse. We needed him to admit everything on tape. Remember, Marcus coached, get him talking about Robert, about the blackmail. Make him feel in control. "You must hate me," I said to Victor at our meeting. "Like your brother hated James." His eyes flickered. "Robert didn't just hate him. Your husband destroyed him. Left him to rot while enjoying his stolen fortune. So yes, Catherine, I want you to suffer like my brother suffered." We had him. The recordings, the proof of extortion, everything. The police arrested Victor that evening. But I felt no relief. Because now came the harder part, telling Catherina the truth before she heard it elsewhere. "Catherina, there's something I need to tell you about your father and about the decisions I made that I'm not proud of." She listened silently as I unraveled years of secrets, watching her face cycle through confusion, shock, disbelief, and finally, hurt. "You lied to me my entire life," Catherina whispered. "Every story, every memory, were any of them real?" I tried to explain, to justify, but how do you defend the indefensible? She asked me to leave, that she needed time. For days, Catherina didn't call. The wedding was in 3 days. I didn't know if it would happen, if I'd be invited, if she'd ever speak to me again. Then, finally, my phone rang. "Mom," she said, "I need to see you." "I'm angry," Catherina said. "Hurt. But I've been thinking about what you said, about protecting me, about fear. I don't agree with your choices, but I understand why you made them. And Mom, I realize something, you're not Dad. You didn't commit his crimes. You just loved him despite them." I felt a huge relief that these words are coming out from her mouths. Finally, Catherina wasn't judging from a place of hatred but a place of love. The wedding was beautiful. Catherina glowed as she walked down the aisle, not with me, but with Rebecca, a choice I understood and accepted. During the ceremony, she read special vows she'd written the night before, about forgiveness, about truth, about building a marriage on honesty. I couldn't hold back my tears. Then Catherina did something unexpected. She asked for the microphone and faced our guests. "Before we continue, I need to share something," she said. My heart stopped. My mother taught me that secrets destroy families. So I'm starting my marriage with honesty. She looked at me, tears in her eyes. Mom recently told me some painful truths about my father and our family's past. It was hard to hear, but I'm grateful she finally trusted me with the truth. Today, as I marry the love of my life, I'm also choosing to forgive her, and to honor her courage. She raised her glass. To the imperfect truth, which is always better than a perfect lie. The guests stood and applauded, though they didn't fully understand. Catherina looked at me, and I saw it clearly, my daughter had become wiser than I'd ever been. As she turned back to her groom, I realized the real revelation wasn't what Catherina said at her wedding. It was what I'd finally learned: freedom doesn't come from hiding who we are, it comes from accepting it, consequences and all.